Hi and welcome to the New South Wales State Parliament. My name's Hayley and today I'll be showing you around the Legislative Assembly Foyer. This part of the building was constructed in 1856 and always served as the foyer to the Legislative Assembly chambers. But this space has been changed many times over the years. So in the 1980s, part of a massive renovation project, they actually scraped back the layers of paint and wallpaper to reveal the original colours and designs from the 1850s, which you can see on this pylon here. This was then used as a base, and then the same colours and patterns were recreated across the rest of the foyer. While you're here in the Legislative Assembly Foyer, you can meet some of our former members. First of all, over this way, we have former member and former Premier Jack Lang. Now, Jack Lang has the honour of being the only state Premier to be dismissed by the Governor in Australia. There's another story about Jack Lang though. You may have heard of it before, to do with the Sydney Harbour Bridge. It was ready to be opened in March of 1932 and the plan was that the Premier would have the honour of officially opening the Sydney Harbour Bridge by cutting a ribbon. However, others had different plans. A man named Francis de Groot galloped in on his horse and slashed the ribbon with the sword before the Premier could have the honour. A new ribbon was produced, politely retied, and Jack Lang did officially open the Sydney Harbour Bridge, but that's not what anyone remembers from the day. Here in the Legislative Assembly Foyer, we have the scissors, not the sword, available for you to see. These scissors were designed by Australian jewellers Angus and Coote and made from gold and opals found across New South Wales. And if you look very carefully, you will see a tiny little Sydney Harbour Bridge where the scissors connect. I'll introduce you to another former member. Over here we have Millicent Preston Stanley. She was the first woman to be elected to our parliament in 1925 and one of the first women to be elected to a parliament in Australia. Now you can imagine it was probably very intimidating for her to go into the bear pit for the first time, and during her first speech she received many interjections from the other members, but at the end of her speech also had a burst of applause from the women in the ladies gallery who were her supporters. So much so that the Sergeant of Arms had to come in and subdue the women there. Thanks for joining us in the Legislative Assembly Foyer. We'll see you next time.